This is where children belong. Welcome this part of our worshiping throng. What are God's words is where children belong. Excuse me, sorry. Good morning. I missed you guys. I was gone for a couple weeks. We were in Florida together, weren't we? I know. Oh, the weather was way better. Oh, but I did miss you guys a lot. And one thing I remember we were talking, we were actually, it was the day we were at Disney. I think we were at the different parks, but we were at Disney, and I was talking with my friends, and we were remembering, like, after church, we used to always play Red Rover. Does anyone remember the game Red Rover? Which I'm shocked that none of us were seriously injured in that game. Do you remember the game, how you do it? You like, Red Rover, send Katie over, and then she comes running full force. But after church, we used to always play these games. We played Red Rover. We played tag outside when I was a kid. And tag is only fun when you have more than one person or two people, right? Like, tag is not so fun if it's just Graham and I. Tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. I mean, that's kind of boring, right? Like, to play tag with just two people. Like, it's more fun when you have a lot of people. So I want you to kind of keep that idea of tag in your mind, because it kind of goes along with today's scripture. Because in today's scripture story, we hear Jesus talking to his disciples, and he's giving them lessons about some really difficult, tricky things to do. And they're even hard to kind of talk about, because he tells his disciples to love their enemies. Ugh, that is so hard. I mean, can you think about the person that kind of has hurt you before, and then think about loving them? Ooh, that's tricky. And then he tells them to not judge their enemies. Oof, really hard. And then he tells them to give away their things to the people who are stealing from them. I mean, come on. These things are terrible. These are hard. These are not easy things to do, are they? Oh, I think he tells them even to, like, when you're playing tag, like, to not tag the other person when you're on a two-person tag. It's kind of the same, isn't it? He's saying, don't tag the other person. Stop the game. Pause the game. Walk away from the game of tag, you're it, tag, you're it, tag, you're it. Because the whole point of tag is to get back at the other person. That's the whole point of the whole game. But he's saying in real life, stop. Stop playing the game of tag. Stop trying to get back at the other person. And how in the world are we supposed to do that? Because it feels good sometimes to get back at the other person that's hurt you. It feels good to get revenge when someone's really hurt you. And it kind of, let's be honest, it feels good for a second, doesn't it? To, like, make them hurt as much as they hurt you. But Jesus is saying, no, stop. Stop the game of tag. Stop the game of tag you're it, tag you're it, tag you're it. Stop. Walk away from the game. But how do we do that? Well, it starts with spending time with God and realizing that the other person is loved by God just as much as you're loved by God. And we're receiving all that love and that joy and that healing and that forgiveness, so that we in turn can give that love and that joy and that healing forgiveness to other people. Today we're talking a little bit about what it feels like to get hurt really, really bad, and how we respond to that hurt. And it's not in revenge, which is hard, but it's in loving that person back. So we're going to go upstairs. We're going to talk a little bit more while they talk down here. You guys ready? Let's go.